There are thousands, if not millions of devices. No, I'm just playing. There's only 221. What's up? I'm Grant Grace and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to find out what is my top 10 devices in 2025. I've been in the creative space for 8 years. It came out in 2018 and it's already 2025. Oh my goodness. I'll put the link in the description for this tier list. Before we jump into this video, make sure you guys are using code GRANTO in the item shop. Even going into chapter 7, just make sure you have code GRANTO equipped. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the honorable mentions. Okay, to start off, we have the teleporter device. I mean, you really only use it to move people. There's really cool ways you can use it. This is the only way to move players, actually. Second honorable mention would be the score manager. Having a device that helps you to make a game have a point system, any game you really want, is so helpful. Now this one might be a little controversial because this should be top 10, but there's a new device that just took it out of top 10. And this is the player reference. There are settings in this device that are so useful that you just can't get anywhere else. Like showing off a player's skin, super helpful. In the stat to track, you can use the stat creator. You could also put them in your island settings as on the scoreboard. Probably one of the most useful events in this device. When you register, you can replace someone fails so it doesn't like kick them out. That is so helpful for like a king of the hill, a leaderboard, many practical uses for this. Number 10, the item granter. There's not any better ways to grant items to players than an item granter. You control the flow of items with this device. Grant while offline. This setting has never worked for me that well. I don't know what this even does. Like I said, item granter, top 10 in my opinion. Number 9 is the mutator zone, the only device to really stop movement or modify movement, gravity, the pickup. This is the only device you can pick up things with, like off the ground. The invincibility, this was a huge thing. Blocking weapon fire, stopping weapon fire, and changing movement speeds, build speeds, affecting the creatures, the guards, like just a great device. Number 8 is the timer device. Just off of the per person usage is probably why I think this device is so high for me. It's still important. Like this is a very, very important device, but sometimes I use switches as timers or I use the trigger as a timer. Number 7 is the conditional button. Being able to track items in a very specific way is so important. Really whatever, and you can make things that cost without even having to make the player buy it. So like walking over a zone in like a tycoon. I think just the main thing is being able to activate it wherever, have any type of interaction off of whatever you're consuming is up there. It has to be. Number 6 on the tier list today is the input trigger. This is something that we've been wanting for the longest time, just throughout the progression of creative, like being able to use any input, like aim, shoot, jump. I mean, really anything on the controller, helpful, giving us the ability to maybe even add like combos into the input. So you can do this plus this plus this. I know we just got the ability in UEFN to do it, but for the 1.0 creators, I would love for us to be able to have that same functionality in a device. And I mean, this is the only device that would be able to do that. One thing though, I do wish is that we could use the icon on the HUD. We would just have like the hand or whatever icon we use. You can even put the placement. Like on mobile, we can do all this stuff. We can move the placement, but give us that same functionality where we can make like cool looking icons on the HUD with this device. Number 5 for me is the most solid device created, and that is the trigger device. Now I know people might be like, oh, this is way too high. There's so many other devices. This is the best assist device. If you're smart, you're gonna connect the trigger to help with a lot of things. When you're doing a lot of fail safes, you're putting triggers in between things. Number 4 is the player counter. I feel like there's too much functionality in this device, and going forward, every device just has so much functionality. You can't really just call out one thing. Being able to detect players, track players specifically, pull from certain people, being able to compare like within the zones, checking for 2 or more players, giving the last person to make it somewhere, an event, or randomly counting players, even using this as a visual display is super helpful. Cracking the top 3, and the tracker just, it's almost unmatched. At least for what it does, there's nothing that does it better. Like Elimination Manager, this does that, but better. If this had a ability to track knocked players, this device would be so much better. If it could track the white meds, the health consumables, that would be nice compared to the shield consumables. Being able to track what weapons you use. I use this setting often when it comes to just specifying what weapons are being used in the map. A lot of us are zombie creators, so having this non-player eliminations count super helpful. This might be cheating, but my number 2 device is the triage of these 3 devices. They do and take the spot of a lot of devices. This is like an all-in-one tool. There's almost no better device than these. Being able to create your own stat and have that display is super helpful. A ranking system. The map I'm working on where I made a fighting game meter, take out like EX combos and stuff like that. I haven't really seen anyone do that specific thing yet, so I know that this device is super untapped. Being able to add like eliminations to you. At first you have to get elimination before you can even count an elimination. In here, being able to track the stats. So instead of having an attribute trigger or a player counter, you can just do the tracking in here, more or less. It's like a player counter for stats, and that's why this is so important. If you come out of this video with anything, it is to learn the stat creator devices. Those are probably the best and the most important devices. You all know what my number 1 device is, and that is the Switch. Hands down, the best device that they have given us. I would rather use this as a save device. I would rather use this as a trigger, a button, a timer. Switching classes, like I would use a Switch device instead of switching classes. The mutually exclusive, when you have multiple switches on one number, when you turn one on, it's going to turn all the other ones connected to it off. Well, anything that has a per person mechanic or per person settings, I will always use and rank higher. Having persistence, being able to come back after auto save and it auto loads, or you can load it yourself. Being able to check state even when it's disabled or not disabled. All helpful things. And that is it for today's video. I would love for you guys to go in, rank these, and send them in my Discord to see how does your top 10 compare to others and my own. Before I end the video, let's go over some tier lists that are in the Discord. Cuddle Dream Fox, I'm gonna look at your S tier and just kind of get a feel of what you guys think are some top tier devices. This is very interesting. The Plant in S tier is crazy. Miss Jawa, you do majority of things in verse, so I know your list is gonna be very different. No Switch device in top tier is crazy. Effin Wazar, why is it so far away? The Changing Booth, crazy that is an S tier. Fashion show creator, so obviously that makes sense why that is important to you. Sidon, you're a zombie creator, so this makes sense. Fluffy, what do you got going? The Lock device. Jaden.Ice King. I knew you were gonna troll. The Earth Sprite in S tier is crazy. Again, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys for all the love and support you guys put on these videos. I'm Grunter Crates, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!